Check, check, check. 1, 2. Check, check, check. All right, does this work? Um, okay, cool. We have volume. YouTube. Um, Stupid Facebook. Not a super comfortable office chair. It's not even an office chair. It's like a stupid chair, a comfortable chair, and an office desk. So, weird combination. Greetings. Is anyone there? Should I have just stayed asleep? Um, I just woke up. Oh, but I thought it's so special to have a Monday off. Let's jump on, and it's Juneteenth. Thanks to Ben Travers for this energy experiment. Ah. Let's see, what's the delay? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. About 5, so that wasn't quite seconds, but well, cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump onto YouTube, make sure that's working, because I have a few people only check it out on YouTube because they boycott uh, Facebook with kind of good reason. Um, I'm going to Twitch to just check it out. I should be live there. There I am on Twitch. It's pretty cool. See if there's something activate to stop him. Who cares? Um, oh boy, this is nonsense. I don't need any of these settings. Um, I have a chat room. I really like Twitch. I really do. It's good quality, very good quality audio. Got a cool chat situation and just cool interaction. But most of all, very good audio. So if you're streaming music, it's very cool for that. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're on the road, hence the chance for exhaustion. Um, I'm not tired until we stop. The train stops. And I go, holy shit. So we've been going since last Monday. Jack Pyra, how are you, my friend? We've been going since last Monday, and which means 6 days. And yeah, we had shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 6 shows. Wow. And it's 14-hour days. Something like that. Well, let's see. In the venue, 12 and a half, something like that. 12 and a half hour days. And it's brutal. It's good in the moment, but then it piles up. Um, and I'm testing out this tour, like energy sources. I don't always drink coffee. I love it. When I do, it's good. But switching it around, matcha tea, green tea, which kind of overlaps. Uh, I take spirulina pretty regularly, but I forget. But most days, and then I just tried for the first time. My colleague and my good friend Ben Travers uses this stuff. It's a company called what the hell are they called? IV, CTT. I'm not sure. Where are my tiny letters glasses? Live, yeah, LIV. Distributed by the Live Group. Okay. And it's got tea, matcha tea. It's got pure cane sugar, which will always give you a buzz. Um, Citric acid, dextrose, and hydrosis, another sugar. But organic matcha tea, salt, potassium citrate, diacetyl extract, sodium citrate, dipotassium phosphate. A lot of salts. Stevia is in there, so there's not that much sugar, but it's balanced by the stevia for the sweetening. 9 carbohydrates in the whole thing. Um, 0 protein, 0 cholesterol, 380 sodium. So it's a good electrolyte thing, but a good energy thing apparently. There's ginger, vitamin C, vitamin B, lime flavor, lemon flavor. You got some vitamin C, B3, B5, B6, and B12. So let's see. I feel pretty good. Just testing it out. Have had 0 coffee today, and so Jack, you're recommending Shilajit? Okay, I'll take a look. I love hearing about any natural product and find out what it is. Shilajit. Let's see. So it's Conqueror of Mountains, Destroyer of Weakness. I like that because it's a metal song. Conqueror of Mountains. Destroyer of weakness. Conqueror. Destroyer. Conqueror of mountains. Destroyer of weakness. Natural tar-like substance found in mountain ranges of Himalaya. It's good. Shilajit. So it's a natural tar-like substances from Himalaya. Usually tar-like substances found in Himalaya is heroin. So perhaps this is something different. It's popular as an age-old natural substance enhancing energy, vitality. Okay. Doesn't tell me. So it's found in the soil. Is it? What the hell is it? Fulvic acid. Isn't that in volcanic ash and stuff like that? Side effects. Lots of men have complained about fatigue, dizziness, weakness, and irregular heartbeat. Well, I have that normally, so it increases uric acid in large quantities. Okay, and can prove to be fatal. Wow. At what levels, though? Is it safe to take daily? Twice a day for 90 days, it can cure a person suffering from infertility. Or according to studies, sperm count of men using shilajit increased by 12% or more. A man wanting to start a family should adopt this method as it is considered natural and safe. So we have shilajit. I've never heard of it. I love hearing about new stuff. But, yeah, shilajit. Why, thank you. Yeah, I'll check it out. No, it didn't jump out as exceptionally amazing for me or anything, but I always like to try new stuff. But there it is, folks. A little suggestion from Jack. Shilajit. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Shilajit. 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 Don't know how you say it. But it's available in all these different companies. There's a No Tropics company that puts it out, which is good. Is shilajit good for female? Because it's been talking about male fertility. Helps regulate the menstrual cycle. Has a positive impact on reproductive health of women. How about that? Is it FDA approved? It is not regulated by FDA, but as it says, like most supplements, it's important to let your health care provide it. Why does it make me feel so good? It increases dopamine secretion. Yeah, very interesting stuff. I would definitely try it. Does it reduce weight? It lowers body fat. This stuff does it all. Oh, what's it called in English? Cocaine. Asphalt of black bitumen or mineral pitch. So it's rock, huh? It's mineral, it's rock. What does it taste like? Burnt rubber. Well, slice me up a hunk of that. The destroyer of weakness. And finally, how do you pronounce it? Let's see. On its own, shilajit tastes like burnt rubber. Which begs the question, who's been eating burnt rubber? Yeah, very interesting. Oh shit, I don't want to close that. Uh, how do I, let's unshare. Oh, I'm groggy today, y'all. I can't get the technical thing happening. Oh yeah, here I am. Shit. Look, it's infinity mirrors. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll stay here for a minute. But Jack, tell us a little bit. What do you just take a little teaspoon of it and it gets you fucked up, or I mean not fucked up, but has results? Oh, this is great. Take shilajit. Here's what you'll see. You got off sugar 16 down 20 pounds. That's great. That's great. I know it's not heroin. I was kidding. Scott, of course you love the impromptu metal jingle. I can toss those off. You know, one of these days I'll have time. I have a secret metal project that I'm working about that I revealed to someone yesterday, someone in the crew, and there was a metalhead on the crew, and she was really cool because she has a crew company, and we talked about metal a little bit, but more talked about a woman-owned and run tech crew situation, which is such a great idea. More diversity in this field is welcome. So that was cool. But Tom Leventhal, how are you today? Good to see you here. How's Atlanta? Jack, you're taking it at bed in the morning. Okay, cool. Slightly smoky flavor, but not disgusting. Okay, that's fine. And bitter tasting stuff, I'm okay with it at the end of the day, especially if it's got results. I'm loving this. Are you guys seeing this infinity pool, or is this just happening for me? I also have to put this other device on the web so I can show some pictures. So what did you have for lunch today? And let's talk a little about Juneteenth. And the connection I'll make there is the expansion of Black diaspora plant-based world. It's really fantastic to see. Let's see, how do I stop the share? Excuse me. It's fantastic to see, and I'm going to look on Instagram a little bit and talk about that. But what a day, right? And I did a little post on my Instagram about it, and you might be saying, what does that have to do with food, Andre? Well, a lot, because one of the dehumanizing things about American slavery, and we'll just talk about American slavery for a minute. Of course, there was slavery other places, which is always a sign of mentally ill people who, as soon as you bring up American slavery, they rush to say, everyone had slaves. Okay. First off, everyone didn't, but very, very many human beings enslaved other groups of people. But to have that kind of whataboutism on this topic is always interesting. So I've chased away the kind of people who say that shit mostly, though. It's been great these 8 years or so since like absolute batshit insanity has kicked into full exposure, let's say. But we could start there and say, of course, many human beings have enslaved other groups of people in warfare, in territorial kind of conquests, in all kinds of cases. It's in the Bible, it's in a lot of other holy books, it's in antiquity. I mean, when you think about it, it's pretty natural that it's going to end up happening once humans have weaponry or some way that they can control other people. It's not a big jump that someone would think of that. So slavery appears over and over, and the tie-in, and what I want to talk about, one of the things is the tie-in with animals and animal rights, because we still maintain that human dominance over animals. Many of us do. And even if you're vegan or plant-based, there are things that you are part of economically that continue this. But I want people to think about the connection between, it's animal slavery. It is animal slavery to force animals into concrete buildings, force feed them food they wouldn't eat, force them drugs, forcefully inseminate them, what we would call rape in humans, force them to stay awake on natural hours, standing up on concrete, sitting in their own filth, sitting in the remains of dying animals around them. The this isn't the first time someone's made this comparison, and there's comparisons of art. There's a woman named Sue Coe who's incredible and does a lot of art around this. Uh, I'd love to interview her, but I think she's too big for me. I've reached out to her on Instagram. There's no reply, but she does a lot of stuff around slavery of animals and the brutality. So humans doing that to other humans is something I think we should think about, and also we should think about. There's a great book, actually, a book that changed my life, by Peter Singer called Animal Liberation. It's an incredible book, and it touches on this topic, but also the philosophy of enslaving other sentient beings. You know, it's a heavy book, and it's a controversial book, I guess, to some people, but Effective Altruism. He's got another book. But book that changed my life. And I highly recommend, if you're into philosophy, if you're into, certainly you're at least interested in thinking about plant-based living and animal domination. Here's the book. This is a different cover than I had, but yeah, check out the wiki. I'll put the link in the chat as usual. And he argues that animal rights should be based on their capacity to feel pain more than their intelligence. And he makes a great point that while animals show lower intelligence than the average human, many severely intellectually challenged humans show equally diminished, if not lower, mental capacity, and that some animals have showed signs of intelligence, like primates learning ASL, American Sign Language. Therefore, intelligence should not be a basis for giving non-human animals any less consideration. So it's a great and basic point. We shouldn't base this shit on intelligence, because if so, then we wouldn't grant rights to human beings with some sort of learning disability, right? Some sort of intellectual incapacity. So there's many other bases of the argument he makes, but that's one of them. And so, you know, on this day, and I usually don't talk that much about the animal rights part of things on this show. We touch on it, but it's not, you know, it's not the focus. But of course, it's kind of baked into what this is all about. So, talk about it a little bit today as we talk about freedom. So, one of the things about American slavery was incredibly unique, is my point there. That's inarguable. That's foolish to, you know. I mean, we could start out that every slavery version was horrible. Let's agree that on the base level, yes, any human forcing another human to work and buying them, selling them, abusing them is horrible. And this is the trick of this kind of revisionist situation we're in right now. They want you to stop there, just equate everything and move on. So while every form of slavery certainly has whatever, 4 or 5 basic, horrific, inhuman, inexcusable things about it. Can we agree on that? Every form of slavery, whether it was, you know, whatever, Greeks and Armenians, if they enslaved each other, I don't know, or you know, the Hellenic times, and I don't know, the Romans enslaving the Egyptians, or the Egyptians enslaving the Jews, or, you know, the Hutsis and the Tutus, or the, I don't know the exact list, I can't remember, but the Aztecs enslaving other Central American tribal people. Was there slavery here on this continent? Possibly, I don't know. The Irish, I've heard people say the Irish were slaves. I'm not sure of who. The Vikings, somebody. I don't know. I forget all this shit. I read this 20 years ago. The exact, who owned who sort of thing. I put it all together to just say it's horrible. But none of it touched American slavery. Of course, we did it at gold level here in the United States. By that, I mean that when it was up and running, that triangle of trade between England, so England's just as much on the hook as this, the Portuguese are very involved, the Dutch are very involved, but that moving of African people to the Caribbean and to the USA, and then moving finished goods like fabrics and cotton and manufactured products, and furniture and whatnot, sugar from the Caribbean back to Europe, or from the Americas back to Europe, and then human bodies being the other leg coming from Africa. And yes, some MAGA person always mansplains that black people were complicit in Africa, selling other black people. Of course, you have this movie, it's a Woman King, right, with Viola Davis. Is that the name of the movie? I got to see this movie. It's on my list. The Woman King, it's called. But it talks about the situation, amongst other things, but it talks about the story of the homie, right? And that's where we get the phrase, me and my homies, the homie went here, the homie went there. But it's about a certain part of West Africa that is a painful story because it shows black people participating in the sale and capture and torture of other black people. So again, we've established that that's a baseline human shit that we did. But once human beings were here, it was such an incredible version of slavery because, and I'll move back to some food, but it is all involved here. One of the things that was unique is that American slavery added this extra layer of unnecessary dehumanization. In other words, when you study some of these other slaveries, which I have, which is very easy to do in these times, you were kind of, first off, many versions of slavery, you could work your way out of the slavery. Often it was 7 years of labor and you were free, or it was tied to war and you were captured, but then your punishment was this many years of slavery. So that's number one. So there was some concept of an exit date. But also in many of those other forms, you kept a lot of your humanity intact. In other words, your language, you were often with other people from that part of Greece or Egypt or Ethiopia or wherever the slaves were gathered, the enslaved people. So you kept your language, your culture, your religion. You often kept all these pieces of your humanity. That's one of the things people need to study and read and understand about American slavery, is that was purposefully cut down. That was purposely destroyed. Purposefully, Africans from different regions were put together so they couldn't communicate as well or at all. Long into the process of history, the real brutal enforcement of not reading and not, being able to learn much of anything. But the forcing of not having your religion, your culture, your language is very important, because that fucked black people up a lot. Fortunately, like all humans, but especially humans who've been enslaved, we're survivors. And so, like the Bob Marley song, talks about it in there. And so you keep that inside. You keep that art, culture, music, intellect inside. And it never died. And it came back. It stayed alive throughout slavery. So there's a lot of different stuff about American slavery. Jumping over to food, the two areas I want to really connect Juneteenth to food, three of them. One of them was to think about animal liberation along the lines of human liberation and asking yourself what's the differences. and asking yourself why you wouldn't eat your dog, why you would protect your dog to within an inch of your life because you love your dog and your dog is intelligent and feels pain and is a part of your family. I want people on this day, because we're thinking about enslaved beings, I want people to think on this day about where's that line where you really respect and love and cherish and protect your dog, but not a chicken or a turkey or some being that you want to eat. It's just something to think about, so there's all that. So that's one area. The second area is the food that American enslaved people were, things like chitlins. That's the first one that comes to mind. That is the garbage. That's literally the shit of the pig, the intestinal tract of the pig, the intestines of the pig. I mean, someone was trolling. Someone was like, we're going to eat the ham hocks and the leg, and I don't even know the names anymore. The shoulder and the butt and all this stuff. We're going to make the bacon from the fat sides and all that. Give these Negroes the shit, literally, the intestinal. And it's very interesting when you study chitlins to see how black people held on to that as a cultural, almost, necessity, a thing of pride. And to this day, there's people, I live in the South, people eat that shit. And it is shit. It literally is. We're changing that slowly. So those are two areas. And the third area to connect this is the explosion of African diaspora vegetarianism, and which has always been there, but just in this business sense, just blowing up. I follow all these people on Instagram, influencers, chefs, business owners, restaurateurs, and it's really amazing to see. And what's amazing is people tying it back to tribal food, traditional food of Africa, of the Caribbean, of places where black people develop culture and food. And so it's been a great, evolution away from the shitty slave food. I'm going to start with natural Black Regan Vegan, who's this woman I follow on Insta, and I highly recommend her. I've not eaten here yet. Going to try to eat here maybe in August. Oh, look at that. What are black vegan chefs cooking for Juneteenth? So this is good. I stumbled across this. Excuse me. Definitely have a frog in my throat. But this is for anyone out there going, oh my God, what is he rambling about? What does this have to do? What does anything have to do with Juneteenth? Well, there you go. This is Black Regan Vegan, and she's saying, my culture plays a huge role in what I do, and I'm honored to share my creations with everyone. And she's got a Juneteenth post. So this is an article that I have not read, but I will try to remember to read. Anyway, here's some of her food. Let me see if the sound is on. Did y'all get the sound for that? Let me see if I got sound on. Zoom Live. And check. 1, 2. Let's turn on Google Chrome. Okay, cool. Let me know if you could hear that music that was happening. Probably my voice has a little echo now or something. But could you hear that music on the? No sound. Okay, couldn't hear Instagram. Thank you, Scott. Let me try again. I flipped something. Can you hear it now? Any sound on Instagram? Okay, good. Okay, great. So that is my trusty loop back. What an incredible program. Lets you do this kind of thing and mix in sound. So I just had it toggled off. Repeat with it. God damn. Good to see you, Scott. It's good to see you in 3D. Wow, man. Anyway, look at that sandwich. God damn. So that's a
girl,
mushroom.
pick up the phone. We just got some new plantain sandwiches. I just got a bunch of stuff from this place called Black Rican Vegan in New York. And baby, we about to dive in. Just peep the plantain. It's giving seasoned. It's giving moisturizer. Pussy seasoned, pussy wet, pussy. I'm about to try it. Look how juicy this is. Mmm. Oh, it's saucy, it's cheesy, it's moist, it's seasoned. Mmm. This is their chopped cheese egg roll. Mmm. Mmm. I'm honestly speechless. This was the most delicious thing I've ever had. This just looked like the Lord. Mmm. Maduros. Rice. 10 out of 10. Pastelon. Mmm. Oh. Girl, pick up the phone. We just got some new plantain sandwiches. I just got a bunch of stuff from this place called Black Rican Vegan in New York. And baby, we about to dive in. Just peep the plantain. It's giving seasoned. It's giving moisturizer. Pussy seasoned, pussy wet, pussy. I'm about to try it.
So there we go. Lizzo, who we love, having a feast there. I mean, it's just very savory, very rich. You couldn't eat this food every day. It's a lot of, fried and a lot of bready stuff. But hey, that's delicious. And, as part of your kind of mix of stuff, fantastic, But just that you have these options. So she's in New York City, often in Brooklyn, often in Manhattan. This woman, Black Rican Vegan, obviously she celebrates her culture of being Puerto Rican and Black. A lot of people don't realize how much African energy there is in Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans. But so some loaded tostones. So she does everything you could think of in Latino food or food from La Boricua, Puerto Rican food. I've been following her for a couple years in everything. I mean, all the different things. Here's some flancocho.
I cannot even contain my swag this morning. Hold on, let me hit my jig real quick. Oh my goodness. The drip today is absolutely immaculate. I cannot even contain my swag this morning. Hold on, let me hit my jig real quick. Oh my goodness.
So, desserts, sandwiches, mofongo, all kinds of great stuff. Here's some sort of So that's jackfruit chicharron with chipotle sauce, cilantro, lime. I mean, just again, because I love how, there should be a term for it. When any of you that are vegetarian or semi or plant-based or whatever, let's come up with a word for this. And it's a word for when our meat-eating friends see something like this and they go, that looks unhealthy. That's really fried. And that has so many calories. It's a word for their sudden concern for nutrition. We all know these people, right? It's your family members or co-workers or just some asshole on social media. But it's these people who They're eating at McDonald's 3 times a week. They're eating the most horrific shit. They're eating NutraSweet and artificial colors. They're eating, bacon and from mainstream bacon with the hormones and the steroids and the drugs. They're eating all of this stuff, white flour, no irony. Then they see something like this, and suddenly they're concerned that something's cooked in oil, right? I'm sure you've all experienced that. Suddenly they're concerned that this is fattening. And you're like, well, I had it once. I was at this festival and they had a food truck, but do go on. But there needs to be a word for that certain flavor of assholery, of sudden concern about nutrition when people see something like this. So again, folks, let me put that out there. I'm not out here saying, eat this every day, be a vegan, eat fried food that's breaded and no. But I'm saying, just like actually, many people who eat flesh and meat, they're not eating ballpark hot dogs all year long. They have a few in the summer. They go to some ball games. It's the stuff that we all eat every day that we should look at. But anyway, this woman is brilliant because she's celebrating those kind of rich, delicious foods. Look at this patty here, man. Oh, it's a mocktail empanada. Sorry, I said patty, but that's more Jamaican. Every culture has this thing wrapped up in dough, and it could be called various things. Dumplings, patties, empanadas. All around the world, they have different names, but all the same.
I'm in love. I'm obsessed. And I don't even feel guilty about it.
So that her thing, I've talked to people who've eaten here, and it is incredibly savory, spicy, just kind of that Caribbean vibe of just spicy, delicious. Oh, look at that. So that's a nice mixed platter. And this is one where you're getting into more of a Whole Foods vibe. And I don't mean the store, but the old school term. But you got some avocados, some deliciously ripe platanos, some raw tomatoes and red onions, some rice and beans. That's such a staple of plant-based diet of kind of diaspora, third world people, and poor people around the world, whether in Beijing or Madrid or Dublin or Warsaw or Nairobi, Santiago, Chile, wherever it is, some sort of bean, some sort of grain thrown together is a staple. So there you have that. And then it's like a stew of red beans, and I see carrots, sweet potato. And then 2 little fritters or patties or something, whatever you want to call it. And I want you to pause and think about something here when people say, how difficult it is to eat vegetarian. Think about how many things in this plate where they replace the meat. Just the one in the bottom center, what would obviously usually be chicken or pork or fish or something is obviously whatever it is, jackfruit, seitan, tempeh, tofu. It could be so many things. Lion's mane mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, doesn't matter. But it has that texture, that flavor, that umami. You can bread it up. But I want you to think about that really so many meals are already 95% vegan. And that's, just an interesting area. So Black Rican Vegan, check her out. Very mouthwatering. And Lizzo has been a longtime fan. Lizzo posts about her from time to time. This is some sort of fried oyster mushroom burger. Look at that. With some crazy sauce on there. Man, that looks good. I mean, we could just stay here. Here's one more of those kind of sampler plates. Again, emphasis on some of the simple stuff. The avocado with some chile or maybe paprika in there. Some sort of vegan cheese and sauce kind of a thing. Over, looks like platanos with maybe possible beef or something. And if you've gone to food places in Miami, in parts of Texas, parts of Mexico City, this is what a lot of the meals look like, right? This mix of beans and rice, some sort of fat, some sort of fried shit, and some cilantros. And it's a real mix of different things. So there you have our first look at one of the diaspora plant-based vegan situations. So isn't that great? So let's get your thoughts and tell me what you had for lunch. Someone was like that. We're gonna eat. Let's see. So let me back up to wonderful comments. Oh, let me make sure. Oh, somebody is on YouTube, says my foodies playlist. Thank you so much. I appreciate that I'm included with your foodies. That means a lot because, you know. Jack had black rice and sauerkraut. That's interesting. Hello, Antoine Shesher. Good to see you in 3D the other day. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at the show. Black rice and sauerkraut. That's a nice combo. I like rice with a little sauerkraut. Rice and cabbage, basically. That's what that is, right? Mark says, still today being cut down. I'm not seeing all my comments. Let me try to understand why that is. Shit. So bad about the Facebook. Anyway, because let's see, live chat. Oh, okay. That Facebook just sucks. Because I can't see everyone. Okay, see, that's weird. Now I can see Scott's other comments. Love seeing the food. Not so much Lizzo shoving it in her mouth. I know, that's never a good look. That's kind of TV production 101. Do not eat on camera, right? There's always that great shot of a politician shoving a hot dog in their mouth, though. And yeah, it looks like a great treat. Exactly. That I can't eat that stuff more than twice in a week or something. It's so heavy and rich, but I just, the older I've gotten, when you're a kid though, right? When you're in your 20s, you just eat like that every fucking day, right? That's the one real concrete area for me aging. That and yeah, needing 10 minutes in the morning to stretch a little bit, get the cracks out of there, and especially I put on a bunch of weight in the pandemic, drinking a bunch of alcohol. I'm working on that this year, but other than that 10 minutes of just getting the shit flowing and your joints to wake up. The only other thing to me is reduced capacity to eat junk, because when you're 20, 25, you just eat whatever fried food. Just throw things down your gullet and it seems okay. The word you're looking for, hypocrisy. Yes, absolutely. That one works. And fuck-faced jokers. I like that, Mark Lorano. So those are good. Why can't I see all these comments at the same time? It's very disappointing. Anyway, I'm going to go on. Okay, see, that's weird. Now I can see Scott's other at the same time. The other, another really cool one that I follow is, let's see if I get this right. What's her name? So many, it's absurd. So RG Vegan Food, I'm not sure if this guy's Jamaican, but Let's check this guy out. There's a lot of Jamaicans and Haitians and what else have I seen? Someone from Trinidad, a couple from Guyana, making traditional food, Caribbean food. And what's happening, I think, is people are waking up and going, "Oh my God, I'm surrounded by roots, fruits, plants, greens, seaweed, all this amazing stuff in these other countries. And if I just drop one ingredient, suddenly I'm making what my grandmother made without the dead flesh." So here's
Tell them nothing no go so. You never buy a bag of Cersei and think a lamb spread. Tell them it's a nothing no go so. And you no smoke with me joke and fig it a higher med. Tell them it's a nothing no go so. And you respect Rasta liberty, you not dish no dread. Tell them it's a last year I know. Where from you never put no cocaine in your cigarette. Before you would have ever smoke 10 pound of cess. And when you set a bag of weed, you know the second guess. Whether if a bush tea or ganja leaf. You a bad ganja man and you wanna cocaine. Tell them nothing no go so. You never buy a.
So that's cool. This is a plantain pottage, and very Jamaican, very Caribbean, obviously. RG vegan food, and mixing some African stuff. Here's jollof rice, which is, many people know that if you've eaten in African restaurants, Nigerian restaurants, Ghanaian restaurants. Here's jollof rice.
So I pray, may they know yeah, I'm when the money come my way. Cause I know what you know you could do when the money come my way. Yeah, go, go. Oh, go, go. Pushing your chin up. Pushing your chin up. Yeah, go, go. Oh, what you tell her? Oh, what you tell her? Now you lift me up. You don't give me up. I said this money my way. You don't give me up. Oh, I go find my way. Any day I go find my way. Now God bless me my way. And I said this money my way. Hey, fashionista. Man, I pull up in the Fiesta. Then no go let the money go.
Fantastic. And what's also fantastic, wow, great production. Everyone's doing these great videos. I'm not. But it's so cool that, you know, with just a little computer and even on a tablet with a little video editing, you can, you know, obviously he filmed this real time, the whole cooking, but then you chop it down to 1 minute. Beautiful and so good, and people can quickly get some information. That looks delicious. I mean, again, such simple, very similar to the Black Rican vegan meal that I showed, which is no mistake. Here's somebody I think is Jamaican, but with that same beautiful, simple kind of a plate of food where you're just kind of combining these great elements. You got the avocado fat in the middle. You got delicious, you know, protein-rich, fiber-rich mushrooms. You got some greens. You're getting all your minerals, vitamins again, fiber again, vitamin C, vitamin K, all these incredible minerals, potassium. What else is in greens? Magnesium, things like that. Vitamin K, I'm not sure. That might be a mistake. But, I know there's one particular really good vitamin in greens. Some potatoes, the often maligned potato. Potatoes are an incredible source of nutrition. Yes, we eat too many of them in America as French fries, but potatoes with the skin especially, it's all about the skin. Everyone has read that, everyone has heard that. Plantains, platanos, similar to bananas with the potassium and the minerals. Again, good fiber. Everything here has good fiber. I don't even have to say that. That's one of the first things. All these Americans with their doctors begging them to have more fiber. Another thing the plant-based diet immediately answers is your fiber issue. Tomatoes, wow, what an incredible and taken for granted fruit. It is a fruit. The tomato is on the bottom there. Just, again, vitamins, hydration, you know, all these really good acids. And usually the word acid we don't like, but you know, some of the acidic qualities of tomato are very beneficial for digestion, for nutrition. And then, what's that grain? It looks like couscous, maybe. What is it? Quinoa. It's quinoa. Quinoa. So, and then some radishes. So just a real beautiful meal. It looks delicious. I would order that in a minute. A little starchy for my taste right now. To have the potatoes and the quinoa and the plantains. For me personally, a little heavy right now. I'm very into just a plate of greens with maybe the mushrooms, avocado, and tomato on top of it, personally. But really great. So this guy is great. You know, he's got some tacos here that are platanos and mushroom tacos. Wow, those look delicious. I mean, come on. I'm all about some tacos. We do Taco Tuesday a couple times a week. Sometimes. Here's another very traditional dish, the kind of thing you see in the Caribbean. Ackee, which I always talk about. That's the stuff on the top left, looks like tofu. Ackee is a fruit tree in Jamaica, and you break open the fruit and you get that tofu-looking stuff. It's incredible. It's like eggs or tofu. You can scramble it with some onions, garlic, a little olive oil, and you have this incredible breakfast. I don't know what's the protein in ackee. We're gonna look that up. But they got some lentils here. They got some delicious Jamaican-style greens on the bottom right. They use a lot of greens in Jamaica, and that's how they shred them up like that. They steam them and shred them up. And very traditional Jamaican or Cuban. It's all big, one big diaspora. And on Juneteenth, we're kind of talking about African diaspora. Those beans and rice. In Cuba, what's the name for it? Blancos y negros, it's something. No, it's another word that kind of says the blacks and the bishops and pastors or something like that, because they were white, the Catholic priests and stuff. Someone help me out, but there's a term in Cuban Spanish for the black beans and the white rice that references kind of a human metaphoric thing. It's cool, but look how delicious that is, especially the ackee. A lot of Americans are unfamiliar with ackee. I have highlighted it a couple times. If you go to Jamaica, you must have ackee, and most people do end up having it because it's a staple that they put with fish. They put it in breakfast. So we got the idea here. This guy's doing some just great stuff. Here's a pizza, sweet potato pizza.
Over me, time to focus on me. Yeah, let me put my loving on you. Slow down, get ready for round two. Just enjoy the ride and the view. I got you in the zone, I got you in the mood. So won't you grab me by the waist and let me show you how I do it, baby. Baby, eyes up and lay them on me. Put that thing down and get up on me.
Well, that looks great, and obviously, doing a crust with the sweet potato. I did not expect that. So anyway, this guy's cool. Follow him as well if you like. There's just so many, and RG Vegan is this guy's name, and then. This woman I follow, she's great. She's more of an influencer, and she definitely does some paid stuff for sure. And no shame. She's definitely like very open and honest about it, and she talks about all kinds of shit. And I followed her for a year or two, and then she started integrating some ads. But what's cool is she travels a lot, and she's always talking about how easy it is to be vegan traveling. She also does a lot of things like vegan shoes and vegan handbags and stuff, which to me is a mixed issue, because some of these vegan products, if they're made from sustainable ingredients like hemp and recycled tires, and there's a new leather made out of cactus, that's a great direction. But some of the vegan shoes, if they're plastic, if they're synthetic, then it raises a whole other thing. But so she goes to these restaurants. Let's hear what she has to say.
Celebration this weekend in Brooklyn. I normally go for the food. There are some delicious vegan vendors that sell Caribbean and African food. Also, the vibe is amazing. Feels like a family reunion. But this year, I went to the show as well. This was my gorgeous date, and we had a wonderful time. The show was incredible. If you are in Brooklyn this weekend and are looking for something amazing to do, definitely check this out. Come with me to Band's Dance Africa Celebration this weekend in Brooklyn. I normally go for the food. There are some delicious vegan vendors that sell Caribbean and African food. Also, the vibe is amazing. Feels like a family reunion. But this year, I went to the show as well. This was my gorgeous date, and we had a wonderful time. The show was incredible. If you are in Brooklyn this weekend and are looking for something amazing to do, definitely check this out. Come with me to Band's Dance Africa Celebration this weekend in Brooklyn. I normally go for the food. There are some delicious vegan vendors that sell Caribbean and African.
That's great. And again, look at, besides how cool she is and gorgeous and healthy looking, consider that she's showing up. This is just the first little clip of her, where she's at an African Caribbean themed food and culture event with tons of vegan food. So it's happening, folks. It's exploding hard. And this woman, especially, I'll put her link. She's great.
There's vegan food for you. I'm just worried that vegan food is going to be salad and fries. Luckily, there's a Taco Bell around the corner. Let's go get a real lunch. Taco Bell is testing a vegan crunch wrap in 3 locations. One in LA, one in New York, and one in Orlando, but it's only available June 8th and 15th. There's zero compromise with this crunch wrap, y'all. They have vegan nacho sauce, vegan seasoned beef, and vegan blanco sauce. New Yorkers, here's our location. Be sure to try the vegan crunch wrap before June 15th while supplies last. So I'm vegan, and I got invited to a luncheon at a restaurant that's not vegan friendly. The organizers assured me, no, we'll make sure there's vegan food for you. I'm just worried that vegan food is going to be salad and fries. Luckily, there's a Taco Bell around the corner. Let's go get a real lunch. Taco Bell is testing a vegan crunch wrap in 3 locations. One in LA, one in New York, and one in Orlando, but it's only available June 8th through June 15th. There's zero compromise with this crunch wrap, y'all. They have vegan nacho sauce, vegan seasoned beef, and vegan blanco sauce. New Yorkers, here's our location. Be sure to try the vegan crunch wrap before June 15th while supplies last. So I'm vegan, and I got invited to a lunch.
So I let that play a couple times because that's always funny. And we've all been there, right? Vegan or vegetarian, you're at a wedding, you're at a lunch, and they're like, here's what we got, and it's fucking French fries and lettuce. It's like, really, guys? And that wasn't in the 80s, wasn't cool. So she's obviously getting paid here by Taco Bell, but that's cool. She's honest about it. Look at that, huh? Taco Bell going full on, doing a full vegan, because a lot of these fast food places have gone halfway or quarter way. But hats off to Taco Bell. Let's look at a couple more. Oh, she continuing the mainstream thing for what it's worth. Dunkin' Donuts in England has these foods. Check this out.
Because Dunkin' doesn't sell these donuts in the US. I was visiting my homegirl in Switzerland, and we passed this Dunkin'. She's like, oh, do you want something? I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, oh, we have vegan donuts here. Y'all don't have vegan donuts in the US? No, we don't. Show off. We also don't have these cute little individual bags. So this is a formal request. Dunkin' Donuts, please start selling these in the US. Not this one. It was gross. But this maple one was delicious. Dunkin' Donuts sells vegan donuts. And if you didn't know this, it's probably because you're American like me, because Dunkin' doesn't sell these donuts in the US. I was visiting my homegirl in Switzerland, and we passed this Dunkin'. She's like, oh, do you want something? I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, oh, we have vegan donuts here. Y'all don't have vegan donuts in the US? No, we don't. Show off. We also don't have these cute little individual bags. So this is a formal request. Dunkin' Donuts, please start selling these in the US. Not this one. It was gross. But this maple one was delicious. Dunkin' Donuts sells vegan donuts. And if you didn't know this, it's probably because you're American like me, because Dunkin' Donuts.
So great message. And again, let me put the disclaimer. I'm not saying we should sit around eating donuts. But if you're traveling and you're grabbing a coffee in the morning and you feel like a donut, it is nice to know that these options are appearing, and mostly overseas, but slowly in America. What's this delicious stew?
This weekend in Brooklyn, I normally go for the food. There are some delicious vegan.
That was the one she showed before, but that was great. Or one I showed before. She's advertising these sneakers. So, cool. Hey, girls making a living. I'm all for it. Again, some of the products are a little whack sometimes, but good for her. She's found a little niche and a little method to kind of live her passion and get paid. Gardine, I love him. Let's see what she has to say here.
And there's a lot of meats that I've never had, so I can't gauge if the vegan version tastes authentic because I've never had the real thing. What I have had are chicken nuggets, and even though Gardine is calling these wings, these are nuggets. I think that these are the most authentic vegan chicken nuggets I have ever tried. I use this dressing, but they do come with the buffalo sauce. Highly recommend. As a vegan who grew up vegetarian, there's a lot of meats that I've never had, so I can't gauge if the vegan version tastes authentic because I've never had the real thing. What I have had are chicken nuggets, and even though Gardine is calling these wings, these are nuggets. I think that these are the most...
So, again, some ad-oriented stuff, but a lot of stuff that is just products that she likes. And as you go back in time, she was really just talking about food for a while. Oh, look at this. Is that in Berlin?
Ja, aber das ist auch... Getting my phone taken away. I've made it to Berlin. Ja, aber das ist auch... Getting my phone taken away.
So she does a lot of high society type of hanging out, but again, what a great window into availability of vegan food. So I'll put her link there. I know I said that before, but I forgot. Let's see. Get that out of the way. There she is. So she's really great. Greg Bendian's here. Yo, Greg, what's up? What's up, dude? Just celebrating Juneteenth and celebrating African diaspora of plant-based food. And it would take hours, but I've done some interviews. Interviewed a guy with a Nigerian vegan restaurant a year or so ago, and that was amazing. And we have so many amazing restaurants around the U.S., but we're talking about some of these different places around the country. And we're talking about, here we are on Juneteenth, 158 years, and shit is not 100% yet by any means. However, incredible advancement, incredible forward motion. I mean, come on, who would say otherwise? But still quite a ways to go. And the problem I have is the people who like to say that it's all okay now. Yeah, I don't see any color. I don't understand why these blacks don't pull up their bootstraps. Like that guy, I want to punch him in his throat. And we all but also the person who thinks that America's 100% racist and it's all a nightmare. I want to punch them in the throat too. Obviously, there's progress. Obviously, there's reason to say, okay, cool, some shit got done. But it's that balance. Anyway, today we're talking about celebrating the intersection of food. And a little bit we talked about the food of slavery, which black enslaved people, as is the PC way to put it today. And I like that one, actually. Like a broken clock, even politically correct bullshit is correct once a day. Twice a day. Once a day in Europe. And enslaved people. That really, I like that one a lot because that puts it on the people doing the enslaving. You know what I mean? When you say someone's a slave, you kind of give them that ID. When you say enslaved person, you're including that they're a person, literally, and then you're including that they are in a temporary state of misery. So I urge everyone, instead of saying slaves, say enslaved person. Kind of cool. Anyway, back to the food. Here's a really great place. If you're ever in the Bay Area, we're in the Bay Area with Pat on tour this fall. Going to try to get out to this. It's right around the corner from Yoshi's. If you know the club in Oakland, Yoshi's. It is right, 2 blocks. Yeah, up one corner, turn right, up another corner, literally around the corner. Solely vegan, and I've eaten here 2 or 3 times. And look, they're doing brunch and live music now, and so you can see there's some good brunchy stuff, pancakes and fresh fruit and stuff like that. And it's very much soul food. It's very much stick to your ribs, rich, incredible food, comfort food. There's Tamara Dyson, who I met once or twice, eaten in her wonderful restaurant a few times, usually on tour. Anytime I know I'm at Yoshi's, it's a no-brainer to run around the corner. Let's just take a quick look at what they've got. And again, you'll see a lot of the southern, it says right there, authentic Louisiana Creole flavor. They just leave out the dead animals. So it's really wonderful. Hearty croquettes, which is breaded zucchini, hearts of palm. These ain't gator bites. So a lot of people eating gators, which is, to me, exceptionally fucked up because they're not that ubiquitous. I mean, they are in those swamps, but believe me, we can wipe them out if we keep, hunting down for fast food. But anyway, these are Louisiana hot links and mushrooms and Creole spice batter, secret sauce, buffalo seitan, Creole nachos, seasoned fries, and then they have hearts of palm battered and served with lemon wedges to get like a calamari texture. Any of you have ever had hearts of palm or a certain way that people do artichoke hearts? Wow, you can really get that calamari texture. And so they do that. So they got a bunch of amazing appetizers. Of course, she's from Louisiana, so you're gonna have some gumbo. And gumbo is largely vegetarian already. It's got the corn, the tomatoes, the okra is a big part of that texture, the spices, all of that is plant-based. Usually they wreck it with some dead pig, some sausage. You just leave that out and you're gonna have the umami, you're gonna have the proper flavor, you're gonna have the proper smells and stuff. And if you want something to have that meat texture, very easy to do. So this is a great restaurant because they're taking some hardcore kind of animal-centric diet, which is the Louisiana food, and showing that it can be delicious and incredible, and it's authentic. Really wonderful young woman that runs this. Her idea was incredible, and I love this place. I love the sides too: braised spinach, barbecue tofu, cinnamon brown sugar yams. Oh man, some southern stuff. Red boy beans and rice. And then they have a bunch of different burgers, mushroom burgers and different homemade patties. It is stick to your ribs food, folks. It's not a diet place. Seitan steaks with gravy and mash. But it's a good place. And I've gotten food here for some of the meat eaters in the travel party, and they loved it. They loved it because it's savory, filling, kind of, just what you want from food. We want to enjoy food. Everyone. You don't want some boring shit, whether it's meatless or not. You want it to attract your senses, right? So solely vegan. That's another one in the diaspora report today. Let me put this in the comments. Solely vegan. Well, what's cool about this is, and I forget to do it in YouTube also. What's cool is people message me weeks after I do these broadcasts to say, "Hey, your thing came up on," and I finally watched it. And so people watch this next week or 3 weeks later, so it's cool. So I do put the links because whenever you see this, if YouTube outlives us all, long after I'm dead, maybe someone will click on that and this woman's daughter will be running the place. What up, Benny Rodriguez? How are you, my friend? Benny Rodriguez is in the house. Benny, are you coming to Pat Metheny next week? We're in New York City. Unfortunately, tickets, freebies in New York are a thing of impossibility. But let me know if you're coming so we can say hi. Yeah, folks, it's tough. I can often get tickets in the middle of nowhere. Like I got tickets for some friends last night in Newark, Ohio. But that's because it's Newark, Ohio. But I can't in Newark, New Jersey. Or probably even Newark, Texas. But yeah, sorry, advance apologies to those of you in San Francisco, LA coming up, New York City. Just can't, you can imagine. Pat lives in New York City part of the year. So there's a million friends, there's a million record company people. There's management industry people. Well, come on down and say hi. Let me know that you're going to be there. All right, let's look at another cool Instagram. Again, on Juneteenth, thinking about the evolution in America of enslaved African people. And I'm a visitor, I was born in another country, so I have a connection, of course, to enslaved African people. But I did not have family enslaved in this continent, so mine were in South America. So that's where it gets interesting for me for things like issues of reparations and stuff like that. I shouldn't get a check. I didn't have ancestors in this country. And there's a long discussion there for some other time. I don't think anyone should get a check because that gets messy. But instead, fix the schools. Back to our couple Instagram recommendations I'm going to give you of African diaspora people. This guy is fantastic. Corinne Sutton. He's a bodybuilder, award-winning. He's a vet, 8 years in the U.S. military, and he trains people in person and virtually. I interviewed him on my show about a year and a half ago, and he's so high energy. You can see he's just got these amazing posts and about all kinds of odd stuff, like which are the best headphones in the gym, best cardio for heart health. So a lot of stuff, a lot of people with their workout results. I'm going to start with push-ups for beginners because I've been back to doing some push-ups. And let's see what he says.
A push-up for beginners. Now understand your pain. You're trying to push yourself off that ground and you just keep falling on your face and you're feeling embarrassed. I get it, but don't be. What we need to do is focus on the workouts that's actually going to help you be able to actually do the movement so you never be embarrassed ever again. So when it comes down to the push-ups, what you want to do is go ahead and get onto the ground and we're going to do a negative push-up. So how this works is don't focus on the actual movement of the push-up. Get yourself into a plank position and focus on just lowering yourself down, just like that. Once you get down, go ahead and reset yourself and then go ahead and do it again. Don't focus on pushing up, just focus on the negative. Because when you're focusing on that negative, what's happening is you're actually engaging the chest and the tricep muscles. You need to focus on that first. And then once you start getting strong on the negative, then every week as you get better at the negative, maybe try attempting one push-up every week. And then maybe the week after, 2, week after 3. But focus on the negatives first. If you want a customized workout program that you'll be able to succeed, go ahead and comment down below vegan workouts. I'll go ahead and reach out to you to create a workout program so you can be strong and fit. My name is Corinne Sutton. Hit that follow button for more. Peace. Here's how to.
So Corinne Sutton, who's become a friend, and we stay in touch, and I am not on his program, obviously. I'm sitting around. But I'm slowly getting back and get on my bike this summer, and been just trying to eat a little better, not eat late at night. But what's great about Corinne is that he combines the heavy duty workout, but he's a realist. Like he does these things like, hey, if you're drinking alcohol, what's the lowest carb alcohol?
What's the best alcohol to get ripped and be healthy? Here's the answer. You take your car and you walk out of this section. Because there's no study that shows that it helps you. What's the best alcohol to get ripped and...
Isn't that great? So he does those kind of comedic things. He'll say, you know, wow, you just saw what he says. But he has a real great sense of humor. It talks about shopping mainstream, like Walmart. Here's some protein stuff. And
favorite proteins that you can get here at Walmart. So let's start off with the least. My least favorite is going to be the gold standard plant protein, because the thing about this one, if we look in the back, has a lot of artificial flavors, fillers, ingredients inside. It's a basic isolated protein, but if you look at the fiber intake, it's very low. The next one is going to be Orgain. One of the benefits, it is 100% organic. But if we look at the macros, you know, the carbohydrates is extremely high, and then there's no fiber, okay? All those carbs is going to turn to straight sugar. The next one is going to be organic protein, okay? I really like this one because look at that fiber intake. You're getting about 5 grams of dietary fiber plus 9 grams of carbs, and it's very high in protein, so this is a really good choice. The next one is going to be a Garden of Life, okay? Everything is 100% organic, which is great. We look in the back, high protein, high dietary fiber, low in carbs, low in fat. But I'm just going to be very honest with you when it comes to the flavoring system, it's rough. Now, my favorite is going to be the one from Owen. You get 20 grams of protein, all right? If we look in the back, you get about 5 grams of dietary fiber, which is really important. Carbs are low, fat is moderate. Now, if you want more tips like this, go ahead and drop 2 fire emojis down below, and I'll make some more videos like this. Here's my least to...
So that gives you an idea. Again, this guy's really great. He talks about, you know, shopping in... I'll just play this without sound. But, well, let's listen one more thing.
By eating fruits. Now, some of the tips when it comes to this is that you want to look for fruits that are low carb, high in fiber, and high in nutritional value. All right. So some of my tips is here. So right here we have some black plums, very delicious, low in carb, high in nutrients. Okay. Nectars, peaches, pears. We got some blackberries, blueberries, but make sure you're doing like a half a cup because a whole cup will equal up to a high amounts of carbohydrates. Some blackberries, raspberries, my favorite, strawberries, apples, oranges, also grapefruit. But also when it comes to the grapefruit, cut it in half, and that will reduce the total caloric intake. Here's some of the best fruits.
So he kind of does this shopping thing. And he's just brutally honest. Like he said that one protein powder, what did he say? He said, yeah, the taste is rough. Taste is rough. I don't know about the taste. So that's cool. But really good guy and so dedicated to animal rights too. He really talks a lot about that, which I'm not going to show every single video. But there is Corinne Sutton and what he's doing. So let's go back. I'm really having trouble seeing all of your comments today. Let me see if I can figure this out. I usually can see all the comments as they come in. Shit, man. Let me just see. I try it. Wait, Scott, if you're still there, I couldn't see. Okay. Mark Wolf Lorano, my dear friend. So important in my plant-based travels. Mark Lorano, who I've had on the show. I should have some water. I'm so dehydrated. I was 14. No, I was 19, 20, just becoming vegetarian. And the first full-on vegetarian restaurant was a place called Grazer's, Highland Park, New Jersey. As Mark describes, this little nerdy guy, clean-shaven, short afro with a sweater came in. Who wears sweaters anymore, right? Sweaters have gone away for a lot of American fashion. But anyway, I ate at Grazer's and I loved it, and it really was one of the eye-opening things of how rich the cuisine could be. And, you know, simple ideas, but things I had not had yet. Anyway, Mark says, if you're eating out of morality, no flesh, it's okay that it's fried or rich in moderation. There you go. Moderation or not, it's your choice. If you're a vegan because you want to be healthy, okay. Look at the soul of life first. But then whatever you think of that is your business. Yeah, exactly correct. If you are if you're doing it for compassion, the second level is all the other stuff. Yeah. Okay, good. Now I can. Okay, good. I can finally see the comments. Scott says, even down to the level of shrimp, we cut out the mud vein between eating. Yeah, before eating, which is. Oh, I never thought that. Is that where the band got the title, Mud Vein? I didn't know that. It's just their intestinal tract. But to your point, that was what was going to the slaves who was eaten from land animals. Yes, the enslaved people. Still today, they cut that. Three-fifths of a man is the, yes, of course, the Dred Scott decision. It's absolutely, Tom. Shit's messed up. The funny part is the Texans really exploited the 13th Amendment, which, if you read the 13th Amendment, it says that slavery's over unless you're incarcerated for a crime. And so what they did was just incarcerate all black people. Walking, whistling, standing, talking, being black on the street. Texas passed every law that made you a criminal. And so they just had a lot of black indentured workers, slave prisoners. So very tricky, as racists tend to be, very tricky. David Miranda, how are you, my friend? You said, yo, I was wondering, I was like, David, are you having a stroke? Or is it talk text? But you had a typo. Monday already, yes. I know, bro. I came out of last Monday going like, oh, this is going to be rough. Gigs, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That feeling went away. You know, I love this gig. So, but when, it's funny, a day off, all your tiredness comes up. I was exhausted. I almost didn't do this show. I fell asleep from about I don't know, 1 p.m. We got here to the hotel in Chicago area at about 8 in the morning, or even earlier, 7:30, 8 in the morning. Our tour manager, who's a Jedi, got us into the hotel early, so we had keys by 8:30, 9 in the morning, which is unheard of. But you know, he works magic. He's a great tour manager, and as a tour manager myself, sometimes when you do roll in and you have 12 or 13 rooms, you can get the manager on the phone. Usually, you can kind of say, "Hey, look, I'm buying 12 rooms. I can cancel, and we can go up the street to such and such, but help me out here. It's a bus. We're on tour. We're tired. How it's Monday, so don't give me your bullshit that you sold out. It's a Monday. Can you help us out? The rooms don't have to be on the same floor. They don't have to be together. Can you help me out? Can we get these rooms early in the morning? Essentially, just a couple hours early, and they do. You know, as long as they have them, they're happy to do that. That's a lot of business. So we had our rooms really early today, which is great. And I, you know, did a little bit of a walk around. Well, let's talk about food. Yeah, I had some. We have some plant-based yogurt on the bus. I forget what is it. Coconut. Oh, it's oat. I think so. I had some oat yogurt with some fresh organic blueberries and a little bit of some blueberry preserves, some natural blueberry preserves, just plain with sugar. And that was it. Then about an hour or so later, I had my salad from 2 days ago, a plant-based Caesar salad with some kind of eggplant bacon. I mean, just call it seasoned eggplant. It wasn't bacony at all. Although there are some vegan bacon things that are scary, especially those things made with rice paper and smoky spicing and hickory and all that. But I had a nice salad, delicious kind of Caesar thing, and some cold lentil soup. Some lentil soup from a couple nights ago. One of the beauties of bus travel is we have a bus, so you can put some stuff there from the catering, from dinner. What we call bus stock is the tour manager and tour manager assistant making sure that we have iced coffee and iced tea and water, of course, and a Keurig and all these things. Buses, you do away with some of your environmental concerns because it's tough to do. It's tough to recycle. It's tough to, you use a Keurig, you use those little things, but it's, we all make these trade-offs, and I sleep at night just knowing that, every other time that I live, which is at home, I am composting. We compost every food waste. I have not created any food waste at my home in about 30 years. Always composting in the backyard. 30 years. I've never thrown away a seed, a skin, a corn husk, a corn cob. I even take the Keurigs. There's periods of time I have Keurigs in the house. I open them up, take out the coffee grind, take out the cotton part that's recyclable, that's compostable, and get it down to the recyclable plastic. It takes you one more minute. So I try to compost everything. Coffee grounds, well, we usually do French press 99% of the time. All those coffee grounds go into the compost. Everything, mango seeds, whatever it is, avocado skin, banana skins. We compost everything. And but when you're on the road, wow, shit gets fucked up. I mean, there's no real. So I'm gonna get some water because I'm so dehydrated. But there was a video I was gonna show. Oh yeah, here it is. I wanted to share this. Let's see, where's that video? Moog, the Moog corporate buyout. Anyone see that? Our beloved Moog Music. So this was a cool little thing, and mixing it up. This is not directly the Black diaspora, but it is our close relatives because of the 12 tribes. We're all connected to the Jewish people, plus Africans of Ethiopian descent, East African descent as I am. But I'm connected to all of you. It doesn't matter who you are, but I'm all connected. I'm very connected to the people fighting for animals, fighting for animal rights. Check this 2-minute video out about Tel Aviv.
I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world.
Welcome to the land of almond milk and date honey, because Tel Aviv is the vegan capital of the world. It has the most vegans per capita and over 400 vegan and vegetarian restaurants. Meet Tal. She is 7th on the list of the 100 most influential vegans in the world.
So how did it happen? How Israel became the most vegan country in the world? We make sure to carry out daily activities, protests, exhibits, campaigns all over Israel, direct contact with members of the Israeli parliament, endless documentation, undercover investigations, and lectures.
Vegans in Israel are blessed with local gems that are vegan by design, like hummus, tahina, falafel. But beyond those, there are unique vegan dishes that will make even carnivores drool, like this amazing vegan burger from Meshik Barzilai. Or this amazing vegan breakfast from Anastasia. Can you believe this is vegan cheese? Check it out. No eggs. Look at these amazing raw vegan desserts. In nearly all restaurants in Israel, you can find vegan options on the menu. You see this vegan-friendly label? This label can be found on thousands of products, restaurants, events, blogs, lectures all over Israel. You can also visit Freedom Farms, which rescues all kinds of farm animals. Whether you're vegan or not, you will find incredible vegan food in Israel and probably make a lot of new vegan friends along the way.
Wow, so cool. How do I undo that? Let's see. Oh, there's Ryuichi. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Here's the kind of videos I watch all the time. Jazz and right-wing thought videos and Mahavishnu Project, all kinds of stuff. But one of my favorite videos. I've watched this so many times. Oh, I missed this man. The Sounds of Silence. I just accidentally ran into that. I wanted to sit there for a minute because we do random shit here. It's jazz. But Ryuichi Sakamoto, you've heard me talk about him when we lost him. I wrote a remembrance of him back in it was early April, late March, March 28th. Did he die? Right? Let's see. I got that right in my brain. It's just a hugely influential figure for me. March 28th. Okay, I remembered that. And then I posted about it a few days later in April. If you care to look, I gave some of his history, biography. But one of the more influential artists for me for 40 years because I learned Yellow Magic Orchestra's music and then his solo records but just his approach to life. Beautiful guy. So saddened to not be able to meet him and thank him in person, which is my goal really. When I meet all these people, kind of the first thing I say, I sometimes forget. For all the pictures you see, I forget often. There's so many that are up here that I just met and I never got to, take a picture. Jimmy Page or John Schofield or Isaac Asimov or Dizzy Gillespie. I met all these people. And no picture, but I always thank them. I say, wow, thank you. I remember thanking Isaac Asimov. I was a teenager when I met him. Just thank you for those books and for, really sparking some shit, man. So Angela Davis, Dick Gregory, met these incredible people. Gil Scott-Heron, my first interview. No pictures of all these people. So for all the pictures you do see, believe me, folks, that's like, 1/20th of it. That's whatever the, half or something. But anyway, a little detraction there just because I had a little emotional response to seeing Ryuichi's face again. Really miss that guy. So listen to his music if you have no idea. Anyway, the point there though was Tel Aviv. How wonderful, right? Tel Aviv, one of the vegan capitals because of the real love for animal rights and real support for plant-based life, and some of the best food in the world over there. I still list as one of my top 3 meals in my life, possibly the top. It's that good, but definitely in the top 3 is in Tel Aviv, in Israel. The spread they had at this place, and it wasn't even any kind of vegetarian place. It was the funny story. It was 2006. I was there with Al Di Meola and his band, and they took us to this place where the roasted chicken was going to be the most incredible, mouth-watering you've never had. Okay, great. So all the other guys went, and I never worry. Wherever we are, even a steakhouse, I will find something. I'm not that guy, but I'll find something. And I knew in the Levant countries and the Middle Eastern countries, Mediterranean countries, countries like Israel, no problem. This is a few days into being there too, so I was certain, I'll get some of the side dishes. But we get there, I'll never forget this. There was a couple guys that would make fun of the food I ate. What's that, rabbit food? What are you eating now? It looks like baby food, that kind of jerky behavior. And I remember we got there and they sat us down, this big long table, and they said, the food, the chicken, everyone ordered the chicken except me, and the chicken was going to be however many minutes, because they prepare it from scratch. Half hour or something, 20 minutes at least. But right away, would you like some? Yes, bring it all. So they bring now, I'm going to say 24 plates, little plates this big, of marinated roasted mushrooms, baba ganoush, another type of baba ganoush, 3 types of hummus, some dish with pine nuts in, some kind of lentil paste, roasted tomatoes, 2 or 3 types of tahina, as they say it there, tahina, falafel balls, olives, 3 or 4 types of olives, artichoke hearts, marinated olive oil with chili powder, did I say roasted eggplant, besides the baba ganoush? Just on and on, all these amazing vegetarian things. Pita bread with, and everyone's digging in, and I'm looking around, I'm realizing, oh wow, all 10 of you are eating vegan food right now. It might have been vegetarian, might have been some feta cheese, one item. It was essentially a vegan meal. And everyone's laughing and drinks and just having a good time. And I'm like, look at this. And looking at you motherfuckers that make fun of me. And I kind of, halfway through, I said to one of the guys, I said, pretty good, huh? You're eating vegan food right now. And he was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, well, this is good. And I'm like, well, that's not the point. The point is you have a thing, and hopefully your thing is cured now. And so, but this went on for a while, and it was amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, this food was the freshest, most delicious. I'm forgetting even some of the stuff, these vegetables I never saw. And when that chicken came, wouldn't you know, a lot of people just really were full already, and satisfied, because it was, these really savory, incredible things, and especially the falafel and the mujadara, which is an Arabic name, but they had a similar thing like this bean thing, and like full mudamas. Basically, all those countries have similar stuff with different names, and they all say they're the one who invented it. The Israelis say they invented hummus, but the Syrians say fuck you, and the Lebanese say fuck you both. We came up with it, and the Iranians say, please, Negro, we came up with all that shit and brought it down the mountains, and you stole it. So it's a fun kind of a competition there. The Greeks are over there going like the Robert Downey Jr. meme, but they all get together and make incredible fresh food in the Mediterranean area. One of the other top 3 meals of my life is also in that world, in Turkey. It was a Armenian grandmother who cooked for us, and the tour I was on was with Adrian Ballou, and 3 of us were vegetarian or vegan, myself and the Slicks, the drummer and the bass player, And Adrian ate. He loved chicken and fish, and he'll eat other meats, but he tried to keep it lean. But he loved everything, so he would eat with us. He would have veggie burgers sometimes. He very good about just trying different stuff. And but this woman, knowing that it was 3 vegetarians, did again similar thing. There was a chicken dish or something like that, and maybe a soup with some meat, and then 10 different things came out. And they bring you these little servings, so everyone just got a little bit, but you're loving it. And that was mind-blowing. It was Armenian food / Turkish food. And anyway, my point is, open your eyes, open your mind, go to some of these ethnic restaurants, quote unquote. What does ethnic mean? Are Irish people ethnic? If not, why not? It's a very weird thing. Are Icelandic, is Bjork ethnic? Yeah, she's got an ethnicity, but isn't it funny? I love words, and I could do another podcast just about words, but ethnic usually means Mexican food or Indian food or Nigerian food, Chilean food. It's ethnic. So it's a funny word, but are Germans ethnic? Yeah, their ethnicity is Germanic. They're Germans. Anyway, just the whole other thing. It's like I was talking to some friends the other day about the word expat. And expat's an interesting one, and a word that's imbued with quite a bit of racism, frankly, and classism, because you never call the El Salvadorans and the Mexicans and the Guatemalans picking your food, right? You never say these expats were in Texas picking food. No, you call them all kinds of things, but properly you call them undocumented workers, I guess. They are undocumented immigrants. They are illegal immigrants. Some people can't deal with that, but they're illegal and they immigrated. So but certainly no one calls them expats, right? It's very weird. But white people mostly, and certainly Americans. There are some other Americans, wealthy Black Americans, who emigrate to Spain or whatever, or to other countries. All call themselves expats. It's almost this wine and cheese. We were expats, and we went to the, Well, as an expat, let me tell you, Barcelona is divine in the spring. As expats, we like to go to it's fucked up. So either start calling, no, you're an immigrant, right? You're an immigrant. You emigrated to Spain. You emigrated to Portugal. You emigrated to, Mexico City, where a lot of Americans are emigrating. But so we either start calling everyone immigrant when they emigrate, or start calling everyone expat. But I leave that with you to think about and watch how it is used. It's definitely like this classist thing. All right, we're gonna wrap on that and just kind of say, thanks for being here. And David says, don't get me started on ethnic. Meg Donahue Kelly, how are you, my dear? I miss you. And what's this? What's going on with the Saint? There's no Saint shows? Are you on vacation? Fill me in on the facts, on the hard facts, because I need to play the Saint. And I need to see you, my dear friend. Get you serving us some drinks, some Jersey drinks. There's Meg Donahue Kelly. Well, I'm glad you find it interesting, because that makes my day. I want people to find something interesting about the things I blather about, trying to get people to think about shit. So to wrap up and go full circle, today, of course, the day we know as Juneteenth, and let me give credit, even though he is complicated and fucked up, and I voted for him once, I'll vote for him again, but he's troublesome. And as a Black American, when he said, "You ain't Black unless you vote for me," with his aviator shades, I was like, You said what? Blacks aren't as diverse as Latinos. He says that too. You said what? You want me to vote for you? So the guy is troublesome. Didn't want his kids going to a racial jungle. He was talking about busing, I think in the 70s, early 80s. He's got his fingerprints on the three major crime bills in America. Biden, he fought for all three crime bills and drafted the third one. He's got a lot of chancy comments. If you just go look, he said some fucked up shit in Wilmington when he was running there. I forget the case, but it was about black areas, swimming pools, and who could swim. So the guy is messy. He's messy. That said, I salute him and applaud him for his, maybe he had an internal turnaround and he realized, I'm 79, 78, whatever it was when he ran. This is my legacy. And I think what I applaud him is that he hired a very good and diverse and competent, is the big word, administration. He really did. If you go right down the line, Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Interior, Secretary of Defense, Education, the people that are involved in finance and all the areas, they have some expertise in what they used to do. Maybe not Buttigieg in transportation. That one's a little bit of a stretch, but he also did some diversity hiring, and he has LGBT, brown and black people, Latino people, tribal people. So there's a couple of things going on. But the point is, it's a really good administration. They've gotten the work done. And I applaud him for stepping back and just saying, look, let me let some younger, competent people, and younger means 60, so or certainly 40. But I salute him today for signing into legislation 2 years ago to make this a national holiday. And it's such an important national holiday because it's one of the few that there's no cards or bullshit or just nonsensical commercial reality to it. There's no fucked up fake Cinco de Mayo tequila specials or any horse shit. It's really one where you think about American history and the part of American history that involved free fucking labor, that involved human beings being bought and sold and raped and tortured and killed legally. All of those things were 100% legal. Legal to buy, sell, torture, rape, kill human beings. That was the law in the United States. And today is the day that some of the people under that law found out about it because motherfuckers were lying sacks of shit and didn't tell them. Wow. Devious, satanic beings want to talk about some evil shit. But he being Biden, signed the law to make that a national holiday, which a lot of people didn't want. And we know who those folks are. They're the ones trying to remove anything I just said from history books. Those people want to remove the fact that Rosa Parks is black. Did you know that in Florida? Some of the school districts, I don't know if it's the whole state, took the line out of the history book that says Rosa Parks was black. That's right. They left it. They left that out, and made it so that it just says Rosa Parks was a woman who was asked to move her seat. This is some fucked up shit, folks, and it is all connected. I'll share that with you, and I'd like you to share this with friends and family. And I'm not making this up. It's at New York Times, CNN. It's on all kinds of news. You pick your poison. Look at Rosa Parks. They just left out. And there's other articles that show the evolution of this, because at one point it said why she was told to move to a different seat, but this leaves out who it is. Even Roberto Clemente. I mean, what was super important about him is at the time when he was in baseball, to be Latino and Black was still a big deal in some of these teams, but they leave that out. Anyway, this is what we're up against. So while I'm here, yeah, this was my Instagram post, and I wanted to remind people of the serious nature of only 158 years ago. Oh, that was Father's Day. But, this is one of the days that we just, talk about this shit and try to not shy away from it. So thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you for understanding how I tied in Juneteenth to food. Of course, we talked 90% about food today and a little bit of politics, but that's the way it is. Meg, you're working on resurfacing from the depths. Well, that's good, my friend. Hopefully something cool comes along, and hopefully y'all can restart. Dave Miranda, you have a great week. Whitewashing indeed. And I close with a photograph of me with one of my pig friends. And I don't mean people in the music business. I mean an actual pig. I love this place. It's the Farm Sanctuary, Farmshire Sanctuary. And lovely animal. She's beautiful. Blossom. Is this Blossom? I forget who it is. This is Blanket. Hopefully we can go see her this fall or something. Give some money to this place and do some visits. So there we have it. I like to stop about 2 hours into this. And I started late, so this is cool. It's about 2 hours. Actually, my clock says 1 hour 58. Perfect. Because 2 hours of my yammering is about all any human being can take. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for being here. This is cool. I'm getting out under 2 hours. Thank you. We didn't cover everything, but we never do. But go on out and skip the meat today, just one day. See you soon. PatMetheny.com is where you can find me. Tomorrow we're in Ravinia here in Highland Park, which is very important. That's where I landed as a baby, 5 months old, emigrating. We were not expats, we were immigrants. Or were we expats? From Guyana, at the time British Guyana. And we had a wonderful family who helped us, a couple families who helped us emigrate, my parents. So I'm going back to that city for the first time, I think in 58 years, to this gig tomorrow. So look at PatMetheny.com. We got gigs coming up in Rochester, New York City, Saratoga Jazz Fest, all around. And then we take a few days off and we start in Denmark and we go throughout Europe, throughout Western Europe. And then we're all around the USA in the fall. PatMetheny.com. New album just came out Friday called Dreambox. We'll see you soon. And I'm under 2 hours, 52, 53, 54.